Need high-quality video to promote your event, business, or band? We can help.
We're PixelPond, a video production team based in the Pacific Northwest providing high-quality content to clients across the US and Canada.
Whether you want coverage of your live event to promote for next year, or need a camera and a camera operator for your next big project, we can accommodate projects of all sizes.
Your story is important. Visit pixelpondllc.com or send an email to info@pixelpondllc.com to get started today. We can't wait to work with you.
This time on Gamers Week podcast. Next up, a bizarre but controlled fighting game has received an unexpected buff on Switch 2. Unlike other fighting games such as Street Fighter VI, Ketsu Battler throws combos out the window. Instead, players must place their Joy-Con in the back of their pants and take down their opponents by shaking their derriere like they just don't care.
I think that you could put out a peripheral that would work better placed in the back of one's pants than a Joy-Con.
Go on.
I don't have any specific ideas. I'm just assuming.
Can you imagine a third-party company making it? It's like, perfect for ass battler. You know?
You just slide it in the back of your pants. It's like a mold of a butt.
Okay.
Do you have the extra large edition?
Getting the whiteboard ready because there's all caps demands for the whiteboard.
Are they calling for it already before the stream starts?
Yes.
All caps, in all caps. Here you
Games
go,
with coffee. Yeah.
Don't say I never did anything for you. See, we're at 13 and now...
I really do not like the sloppiness of your life.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
It's not your board, it's my board.
Right. I'm just saying, I got a little OCD.
You don't like it sloppy?
No, I like it nice and clean. Thank you.
I have doubts.
You could see where the train went off the tracks. The first two columns are very nice and structured. Right, and that third one is just
The first one was like, we don't give a anymore.
So, Blue, let me ask you a question. What's a K-dog? What is that?
A Korean corn dog.
Please explain.
What makes it Korean?
So it appears to be a normal corn dog, but it's coated in all kinds of toppings, panko or cornflakes or other types of cereals like Fruity Pebbles. Donnie, you would love that. Fruity Pebbles.
No.
And then on the inside, you could have like a regular hot dog, or you could have like cheese or sausage or all kinds of different stuff. And the one that I had today, it was coated in panko, and then it was dipped in sugar, and then ketchup and mustard. Sounds like it wouldn't be good, right? And it was cheese and sausage on the inside. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Huh.
I took the first bite and I was like, oh no. It's so good.
I can feel my arteries clogging right now.
Yeah. So it's basically it's a fusion corn dog, pretty much. No, because typically the American corn dog is just like regular batter and that's it. There's nothing more to it.
I have not done a deep dive on the origins of the K-dog. You might have to consult with Korea. I don't know.
Oh, Korea? Wrong Korea. Sorry.
It's like, hey, Kim Jong? Yeah. What's a K-dog? Can you give me the deets on that? The 411? All right, let's get this party started. Welcome to Gamers Week podcast. Like the name says, we analyze the best, worst, and weirdest headlines of the past week in the video game industry. This is episode 170, and today is Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. My name is donniegretro, and I will be your host this evening. The question is whether or not I'm drunk. And I am not alone. My first co-host, however, knows to use the wrong gifts at the right times, leading to a world of experiences that most of us only dream of. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. Ryan, aka Retro Game Brews. Ryan, how are you doing this evening?
Good. I'm just disappointed that every GIF I ever use turns into an innuendo of some kind, and unintentionally.
I mean, when you post a GIF that says it's hard, what do you want me to do?
You're not wrong. I'm not. It's not like I'm disappointed in you. I just want to point that out. It was just,
And that's not.
I should have thought it through. I should have thought.
Yeah,
through.
that's not on me.
No.
That's on you.
No, that's not on Ryan. That's on everybody else for having a dirty mind.
Oh, we've all got dirty minds, though.
Yeah.
So I can't really. It's like, ye without sin, throw the first stone. Yeah,
Right.
And say good evening to my second co-host. She might be a sadist, but at least she'll offer you a snow cone to put on those whiplashes to cool them down. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Writer's View, aka Blue Williams. Blue, how are you doing this evening?
I'm well, thank you. And like I said, I may be a sadist, but I'm not cruel. There's a difference.
That is a quote that needs to be on a t-shirt.
Blue Williams, the nice dominatrix.
I will add it to the Moich store.
Moist. Want to start your own podcast? Maybe about tree bark, nature's beef jerky? You'll need a place to host your show. Buzzsprout has a user-friendly interface, great analytics, and resources to help grow your audience. Use the link in the description to get a $20 credit when you sign up for a paid plan. Let's go ahead and jump into our reviews, reactions, and requests for this week. Mansoor says, first time hearing this podcast. The Gamersician brought me here. Instant fan followed. Yes,
Hell
that's
yeah.
what we like to hear.
Welcome. And we hope you enjoy, or we apologize, depending.
We apologize.
At the same time.
At the same time.
GoldenEye 1971 says, got a chuckle at the end of the show, talking about a penis museum that's interactive, and then welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Blue knew what she was doing.
I mean, if you're going to go to a penis museum, people are going to interact. That's just how it is.
What, like with handshakes or what?
That's a start.
I just wouldn't want to be the custodian at the museum. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no. Like he's got a bleach bucket like on his like belt.
No, it's
Every
like
night.
the Ghostbuster pack of bleach.
Oh, God. And Arcade Main says, in Homer Simpson voice, I can't do a Homer Simpson voice.
Gamers Week podcast became a Spaceballs reference machine so fast we didn't even notice. Eesh.
Yeesh.
Yeesh. And we do want to give a shout out to people on Twitter who, when Spaceballs 2 was announced, they tagged us.
Right.
Because this has been a thing.
And this might be a perfect segue.
With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our patron shoutouts.
Well, we couldn't do what we do without the help of our gorgeous patrons, and here are the generous folks supporting Gamers Week on Patreon. Blues Little Sis, Loud Moth, Retro Blast Pat, B&T Zilla Guy, The Mad Milkman, Seven Castle Forest, Crunchy Kong, Snacks, the Handsome Chef, Frank Grande, Love Retro BTW, Steven Sand, Ramboski, Terry Kinnair, Don't Make Me Pull This Car Over, Games with Coffee, Hybrid Divide, You Fall Before Me, Davey PGH, the Pixel Pond family, including Shannon and Luke, Zach, aka Old Cluster Nuts, Puzzle Butter, Number One Blue Sick Boys fan, John Barron, Sassy Sony, Evo Lust, Rai Wants This Boy's Soul, Mega Retro Man, Gamatroid, Moradib, Michael. You gotta remember, they're just simple farmers. They're people of the land, the common clay of the New West. You know, morons. Lakite. Emo S, Bill Tucker, you know the beeps, the sweeps, and the creeps, fruitcakes. I hate it when my Schwartz gets twisted. Pickled Pepper, Ducks with Thick Thighs, absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress, and Bobson Dugnut. This is getting out of hand.
I think it's perfect.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's getting out of hand.
I'll have the soup.
I had the special. If you like what you hear today, and we really hope you do, please consider joining us on Patreon. Your support helps cover the cost of producing the show, as well as other cool stuff we'll be doing like prizes and giveaways. You also gain access to our bi-weekly patron-only bonus cast called Gamers Week Uncut, patrons with benefits. Visit patreon.com/gamersweek or follow the link in the show notes. But we do have a quick announcement. Monday night streams are taking a summer break, but they will return in August.
I apologize, everyone. Yeah.
Hashtag blame Donnie.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the headlines for the week.
All right, this headline segment is proudly sponsored by Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress. Each episode, George and Zach discuss and rank all the best things, starting with deep dives into every movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This week, they've got a trivia question for us. The Atari Video Computer System, or VCS, was rebranded as the Atari 2600 in 1982, alongside the release of the Atari 5200. What was the original name for the 5200 during the prototyping stage of development? Visit them at absolutelythebest.net or follow the link in the show notes.
I'm going to guess, because I've heard of this before, because they created a prototype, and there's some examples out there, so some people actually do have them. I think it's the Atari 2700.
Okay. Donnie, do you have a guess?
I have absolutely no clue.
See, when Zach sent me the question, and he before he gives me the answer, he always insists that I make an effort to guess. And so, given the time and the company we were dealing with, I suggested it was the Atari 8-ball.
The Atari 8-ball? Oh, Nolan Bushnell.
Yep. But the answer actually is
redacted.
Ducks in Disguise says it was Atari 2602 Electric Boogaloo.
Well played, sir.
All right, this week's headlines. Yesterday, Microsoft confirmed that it's working on a next-gen Xbox console in partnership with AMD. Xbox President Sarah Bond made the announcement in a minute-long video posted to YouTube, promising to deliver Stand and Deliver, an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device. Bond says Microsoft is partnering with AMD for a strategic multi-year partnership that will include the pair co-engineering silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next-generation Xbox consoles in your living room and in your hands. The pair will also work together to build the next generation of Xbox cloud gaming. Microsoft is making it clearer than ever that its next-gen Xbox platform will be focused on multiple devices and not locked to its own store for games. This is all about building a gaming platform that's always with you, so you can play the games you want across its devices anywhere you want, says Bond. That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. This makes it sound more likely than ever that Microsoft's next-gen Xbox console will be powered by Windows and be part of a number of devices from third parties that Microsoft also considers Xbox consoles. Bond's comments appear to suggest Windows is key to Microsoft's next-gen Xbox console plans, but one missing piece of the puzzle was backward compatibility for Xbox console games. Bond says this next generation of Xbox includes maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games. So while the Xbox Ally devices won't run Xbox console games, that don't have a PC counterpart later this year, next-gen Xbox consoles will. That statement right there just made my jaw drop.
Made your butthole a little tight.
Yeah, you're creating a handheld gaming console, and I was under the impression that all of the library of Xbox games would have been available for that. If that's not the case, then who in their right mind is going to go out and buy this handheld strictly for your Game Pass stuff?
And if it's not like you said, if it's not available on PC,
then
I'm up, a creek without a paddle. The question I would ask is how many of those exist?
That's what I was going to ask. What's the percentage of games that do not have a PC counterpart? Whatever that number is might go a long way to deciding whether you buy one or not.
And I would imagine a lot of those are probably third-party games, right? Where they're specifically made for Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a PC counterpart. So a lot of those games are like the games people want to play, too. So that's a fucking problem.
But what third-party game does not release on Steam or Epic?
That's a good point.
Most third-party games do. It's the first-party studios that are locked to the consoles most of the time because the PlayStation or Xbox want to force people to buy the box.
But I would say, are most Xbox consoles available to play on PC based off of the fact that they're a Windows machine anyway?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Assuming all of those things. It's definitely eyebrow raising. But moving forward, this sounds a little bit like that D word that we always use.
What D?
Dongle?
What is that?
Dongle!
Dongle.
And it floods the chat.
Yep, I did my part. Yeah, this headline came out yesterday, and there were a lot of jumps that outlets were making because Sony also uses or has the last couple generations used AMD chips. So does this mean it's an exclusive deal with Microsoft where Sony might be left out in the cold for the PlayStation 6? Unknown at this point. A lot of people are also asking whether this ties into previous rumors that the next Xbox console will be more PC-like than ever, whether they're actually building a gaming PC versus a console. In some ways, this is just kind of like, yeah, yawn, it doesn't really feel like news because, both Sony and Microsoft have used AMD before. But I guess it's what's not said in this announcement that Sarah Bond came out and made that is actually the intriguing part of what's going on here.
Do you think that AMD would enter into an exclusive partnership with one or the other? Or do you think they would be like, we can't do that in the essence of fair market? We need to be able to have both of you guys as customers.
Well, I think it just from a margin standpoint, they would make a butt ton more money if they weren't exclusive to one versus the other, right? So I think it's within their interest anyway not to be exclusive, but you never know. I mean, Microsoft has more money than God, so they could just throw a butt ton of cash at them to say, hey, let's make this exclusive. And then.
Yeah, I totally think they do it for a big enough check. As we mentioned, Microsoft or Xbox is losing this console generation again for like 2 generations in a row. So it would make sense to not be exclusive unless Microsoft has sweetened the deal somehow. Duck says Sony collaborates with Intel to ship the PS6 with a Pentium 6 CPU.
Love that little sticker on your PlayStation 6 that says Intel inside. Right?
It's retro. It's retro.
Don't forget to update for your 2000 bug, right?
Y2K.
Yeah.
All right, next up, after weeks of hand-wringing outrage and ill-advised social media posts, Borderlands 4 pre-orders are finally live. The base game is priced at $70, not $80 as previously feared, while the deluxe edition is $100 and the super deluxe edition is $130. The 2 premium editions contain a variety of skins as well as post-launch DLC. A $150 collector's edition is on the way as well, but it doesn't include a copy of the game. Say what? There are also 4 bounty packs coming after launch, adding new areas with more missions and unique boss fights. Pricing for these packs outside the game's premium editions was not disclosed, but publisher Take-Two Interactive said full details on the additional content packs will be revealed at a later date. The big news? No price increase for Borderlands 4. Gearbox boss Randy Pitchford enthused on X. Standard edition launches not at $80, but at $69.99. They're showing you, so please show them. By which he means show them how much you appreciate the absence of a price increase by pre-ordering the game. Cynics and conspiracy theorists might pause a moment to wonder if perhaps all this uproar over a price increase touched off when Pitchford dismissed concerns about an $80 price tag because a real fan will just shut up and buy it anyway, was in fact a calculated move aimed at driving goodwill in hopes of boosting pre-orders. The old, it could have been worse stratagem. And it may have worked. The game has already elbowed its way into the top 10 sellers list on Steam just a few hours after pre-orders went live.
They're giving Randy Pitchford way too much credit here.
But imagine how hard their PR team is working. They're working overtime, trying to spin this. It's like, no, Randy did this on purpose. It was all calculated.
Right.
Like he's a marketing genius.
He's playing 4D chess out there, you know. Give me a break.
Their PR department is earning their paychecks.
I would love to see what the difference is, because if he could have just shut up about it and not done anything, it would have been fine. People would have probably paid $80 for it. It wouldn't have been a big deal. The difference in price is $10. So if you multiply that by millions, ouch.
Yeah.
for your CEO just being a jackass on Twitter, right? The problem with that too is that's probably somebody's likelihood of staying at the company. You know, that'll probably lead to layoffs like they always do in gaming, it seems like, right? Just because your CEO can't keep his mouth shut.
So you think that the price decrease or stagnation, however you want to put it, was because of the fact that this slime ball opened his mouth, criticized people. You're not a real fan. You're not a real gamer if you don't cough up more money for this game. Oh, we got to backtrack because if I don't, then we're going to lose a hell of a lot more money as opposed to just a couple of $1 million.
I mean, do I know that for a fact? No, but it looks a lot like it, doesn't it?
I mean, there's a couple things to consider. Randy Pitchford previously asked people, please play the game before you judge it, because they are making changes to the formula on this one. So he's already, months and months ago, been afraid that people won't like the changes. It could have been a thing where Borderlands 4 just kind of fades into nothingness. But hey, let's drum up a little bit of controversy, and then we'll call it $70 instead of $80. It's only a $10 difference. It's not that big of a chunk out of our profits, even though it is. You know, you take it by 10 million, but odds are they're not going to sell 10 million units of this.
But if they sell 1 million, that's $10 million. $10 difference. 10 times 1 million.
How much does $10 million really mean to Take-Two?
Probably not a lot, but nonetheless, I mean, again, it's probably somebody's salary. They're keeping someone on that they wouldn't normally.
Like Randy Pitchford?
Yeah.
Like Randy Pitchford. Probably his bonus for the year.
Right.
We'll have the crab and the lobster.
How inhumane to have to choose one or the other. But yeah, this whole trend, it seems, of deluxe editions not including the game, that sucks.
What is that? That's not a deluxe edition of anything. You're just buying a collector's box, right? Mm-hmm. It has if it doesn't include the game, is it just so that you like the price point doesn't scare you? So it's like it's $150, but if you added 70 to that, right, all of a sudden it's 220, and that just sounds like it's way too much.
That is way too much.
I agree. Don't get me wrong, but let's include the fucking game in this thing.
I mean, if you look at most of the stuff that limited run games creates, it's always the game. Yep. Even the base stuff is always the game. The biggest collector's supreme deluxe edition that you can get always has the game. So to have a $150 bundle, that what the hell am I buying then? Stuff to decorate my wall with, and I still have to go out and play it? Come on, man.
So TKN85 points out that Borderlands 3 sold 22 million units. So that would have been, extrapolating $220 million, which is not chump change, I suppose, even for Take-Two Interactive. I still have a hard time because Borderlands has gotten a little stale, bad PR after the movie flopped. So I still have a hard time believing that Borderlands 4 is going to be as successful. But based on those numbers, I will retract my previous statement that it's not going to sell 10 million units. Don't let me down, Terry.
Simon Esther says Square Enix website says the Final Fantasy Tactics Special Super Deluxe Edition also does not include the game. Jesus.
What is going on with these companies?
Super Deluxe Collector's Editions are inherently for the biggest of the biggest fans. Right? So they know you're going to buy the game anyway.
I don't see the appeal. Like, don't call it a deluxe edition of a game. Call it a collector's pack, collector's whatever, right? I don't know. It just seems disingenuous almost. I can't imagine. I mean, if you are probably a huge fan of the series or of the game, you will do your research into what's in it and notice that the game's not there. So I don't think anybody's getting duped necessarily, but still, just feels grimy. I don't know.
Well, Fall Rank says they're going to keep the Super Deluxe Edition sealed and buy a normal copy.
Probably.
And I don't know if you would say that this is unfortunate or if this is just the way it is the way things are right now. You do have collectors that, I mean, I myself, I've got several pieces here from limited run games, like my collector's edition Streets of Rage 4. I have not opened that. I've got that, but I also got a free download of the regular game. Mm-hmm. So you buy the super collector's edition for all the stuff inside, hoping to keep it sealed, hoping that one day that'll be like the multi-million-dollar thing that everybody goes crazy for. And you spend the extra $40 or whatever on the base game and just play it out. So they know what they're doing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
If these types of collector's editions without the game didn't sell, they wouldn't do it.
Oh, of course not. And Davey says, if that's the justification for separating the game from the collector's edition, nah, bro, I'm out. I get that. I do. But when you have something that shows that it can make money, that people like, and people are buying it up like hotcakes, they're going to do it. Companies are going to do it regardless.
Because it's $150 collector's edition, plus people are buying the game on top of it. That's $220 that you got from people. I mean, you could throw in a digital key, include that in the edition, but if you don't, they still got to buy it. And so you get that extra $70.
So really, these are just for like super rich people.
Super rich people or the real fans.
Oh, well played.
Yeah.
The only real fans. All right, next up, the Silent Hill remake is officially in development at Bloober Team, the developer that handled the well-received Silent Hill 2 remake. There's not much to go on, unfortunately, but we did get a brief tease during Konami's press start showcase that included the Silent Hill logo and its iconic music. It's unclear when this remake will arrive, given that Bloober Team is currently developing Chronos: The New Dawn, which is slated to launch this fall. Silent Hill exploded onto the scene in 1999 on the PlayStation as a Resident Evil rival from Konami. It established the series' trademarked fog-filled visuals. Trademark. Oh, hi, Trademark.
You did not read that right. You did not.
I did not.
Damn it. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. It established the series' trademark fog-filled visuals, third-person viewpoint, and the eerie town of Silent Hill itself. It sees Harry Mason searching for his missing adopted daughter, Cheryl, and confronting all manner of horrible things along the way. The sales success of the Silent Hill 2 remake has clearly strengthened Konami's plans for the franchise, which have ramped up significantly in recent years. Silent Hill F and Silent Hill Townfall are both still in the works. There's a film adaptation of Silent Hill 2 coming too. Silent Hill, carry the one, yep. It's being helmed by Christopher Gans, the director of the original Silent Hill movie from 2006. And a lot of people don't like the Silent Hill movie from 2006. I actually thought it was very well done. Creepy and scary at times, decent story and whatnot. I actually liked it. So if he's helming the new picture, I'm all for it.
I did not care for the 2006 Silent Hill movie until I saw the Silent Hill 2 movie. And I went, oh, God, the first one is amazing.
So Terry, though, said something I thought was interesting, so I wanted to go in and check on it. He said, I'm excited for this since I don't want to pay over $100 just for a loose copy of the PS1 game. Right now, in price charting, it's going for $172. Complete copy is $238. Brand new is $400. So yeah, if you want to play Silent Hill, this is the cheapest way to do it. You just got to wait a little.
Is it?
Cheapest legal way to do this.
Simon Astor says, Silent Hill 2006 I thought was very effective. It was great, and I never want to see it again, ever.
Oh, come on now.
I remember before Silent Hill 2 remake came out and people were saying, well, why are they doing them out of order? Why aren't they doing Silent Hill 1 first? But I think Konami was unsure whether they would be able to really make a go of this and be successful remaking their old games the way that Capcom has with Resident Evil and found success there. So they said, we're going to do our best one. We're going to do Silent Hill 2. It's got a pyramid head that everybody knows. We're gonna give it the best chance of success. And the game was amazing. People loved it, sold really well. So they said, okay, now we can go back and do 1, and then most likely we'll see them doing 3 as well. But in a lot of ways, considering that they let Silent Hill go to rot for decades, I don't blame them for being cautious when they're trying to bring it back.
I've got fond memories of this game as well, so this is kind of fun. When it first came out, I wasn't really into horror games. I had a buddy who was, and I mean, back then horror games was really a new concept.
Right.
There wasn't much out there in regards to that, and it wasn't very scary. But I remember we first started playing the game. It was like well in past midnight. You know, he's like, "Oh, man, we got to check this out." So he puts it in. Me and him are both in blankets, like right over our face, like playing the game, like handing the controller back and forth. And then like every time there was a jump scare, be like, you know, parents upstairs coming down going, what the f***'s the noise? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you know? And then I remember we played that game every weekend until we were finished with it. And same deal, like, you know, middle of the night, wrapped up in a blanket, really went for it. So
sounds like a bonding experience.
It was. And you know what? Screaming like little girls at the top of our lungs for definitely create some bonds. That's for sure.
See, both Games with Coffee and Foul Ranks are saying they have never played a Silent Hill game.
Oh, wow.
They're eerie is what I would say.
Yeah.
Right. There's this constant feeling of dread throughout them. And I think that's what makes them effective.
The first 3 games, especially, I might even say just the first 2 games especially, really capitalized on Team Silent knowing how to create an oppressive atmosphere. And so if you have a chance to check them out, I highly recommend. And even the Silent Hill 2 remake was fantastic by Bloober Team. And so I expect that this one will be really great as well.
I didn't care too much for the original Silent Hill game because it was hard for me to see stuff, you know, with the way things were developed on the PlayStation early on. It just like, I was like, this feels a little clunky. Like, okay, I'm a little bit scared, but when Silent Hill 2 came out, that took it to a completely different level. Definitely. So that's where I think the Silent Hill took the turn. And I'm glad that they actually brought out part 2 first, because I think more people latched on to that particular story and the characters and the environment and whatnot. And when they did the remake, like, holy crap. I'm a fan of remakes. When they did it with Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and just how badass those games looked now with the newer technology. There were limitations to what they could do back then. You take that game now and bring it up here, and I have a feeling that Silent Hill 1 is just going to be as awesome as Silent Hill 2. Not surpass it, but just as awesome with what they can do and deliver with the environment, the ambiance, and the scary.
You keep the fog, though, right? Because I remember them saying the reason that they had fog was because things couldn't render properly in the distance because there was so much of the game, so they put fog in there. But you keep the fog, right?
You keep the fog because it's your calling card now.
Exactly.
Hey, you keep
Silent
the fog.
Hill without fog? I mean, come on. Come on. Come on.
Next up, a bizarre but controlled fighting game has received an unexpected buff on Switch 2. Unlike other fighting games such as Street Fighter VI, Ketsu Battler throws combos out the window. Instead, players must place their Joy-Con in the back of their pants and take down their opponents by shaking their derriere like they just don't care. However, the stakes are incredibly high, as one precise posterior strike is all that's needed to land the knockout blow. The 1v1 matches are as intense as they are comical, with characters flying through the air and trading blows with clenched swords. However, Ketsu Battler brawlers have discovered one major flaw when playing on Switch 2. The butts are just too strong. Wow.
Put that on a list of things that was not on my bingo card.
They're too strong.
Players have now discovered that the sword swings are speedier and the special move gauge builds up faster, leading to more chaotic fights than ever before. While not a bad thing for those looking for even more frantic fights, the devs have revealed that they are aware of the posterior problem. Inside joke. It has been confirmed that when playing Ketsu Battler on the Switch 2, the butts become stronger than expected, wrote the devs. This is thought to be due to a hardware performance being too high, but since it will take time to verify, we would appreciate if you could enjoy the Extreme Ketsu Battle Edition on the Switch 2 for a while.
The butts are too strong, you guys.
Hardware performance being too high. How could we not predict this?
Well, in fairness, how would you expect a Switch console or a Nintendo console to have hardware performance that was too high? And now the butts are overpowered.
I hope I never go to one of these tournaments and have to borrow a controller.
Oh God.
Because that ain't happening.
You didn't have to go there.
Because like every other, like if you go to a tournament at a convention and they've got all the controllers laid out on the table and you walk up to your station and you pick it up and just tuck it back there.
No. Oh, it makes me think of the Baby Steps guy from that game, Baby Steps, with the overalls and just the sweat dripping down his crack. Him just throwing a Switch 2 controller back there and shaking his derriere. And we're like, okay, now who wants to play next? Nope. I'm done.
Thank you for that visual. I appreciate that. I don't.
Wait a minute. What's he doing? That's not a Joy-Con. I'll just sit here and shake it.
I see. And Games with Coffee says Lysol wipes, yo. I'm not sure that's good enough, honestly.
Nope.
Like, even if you saw somebody yank it out of their sweaty ass crack and somebody very diligently wiped down every little crevice of the controller and handed it to you, no, that's not good enough. That controller is gone. You may as well burn it.
Kill it with fire.
Exactly.
See, and Simon Asher says, I don't have a Switch, but Joy-Cons have Rumble, don't they?
Ooh,
They do.
It's got a point.
They do.
Rumble HD as well.
I think that you could put out a peripheral that would work better placed in the back of one's pants than a Joy-Con.
Go on.
I don't have any specific ideas. I'm just assuming.
Can you imagine a third party company making it? It's like perfect for ass battler. You know?
You just slide it in the back of your pants. It's like a mold of a butt.
Okay.
Do you have the extra large edition?
We gained weight. Now my ass peripheral doesn't fit.
Oh, that would be so disappointing. I mean, like, not being able to put your jeans on takes a little bit of time. But a perfectly molded ass controller is going to tell you right away.
Oh. Games with Coffee says, Sir Mix-a-Lot has entered the chat.
There you go.
My Anaconda don't want none unless you've got buns, hon.
I'm just waiting for the day for them to come out with more ass-related games.
Precision platformer with ass controls.
Like clench when you want to jump and you release when you don't.
I tell you, you're probably going to get like a full body workout. You're going to end up sweating by the time that you're done if that's the case. Jump. Oh, double jump. Do you have a seizure or what's going on with them?
Ring Fit. That. This is the new Buns of Steel.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our top 3 new releases.
All right, first up is Date Everything. PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Date Everything is a sandbox dating simulator set in the comfort of your own home, featuring 100 fully voice-acted database characters. Let the romance flow between your bed, smoke alarm, and overwhelming sense of existential dread. Are you ready to date everything? Next up is Lost in Random, the external die. PS5, Xbox Series X and X, Switch, and PC. Take on an ancient evil in Lost Random, the internal die, a fast-paced action roguelike set in a whimsical world of random. Play as Queen Alexandra and her die companion Fortune as you battle twisted foes, wield powerful relics and abilities, and roll the dice to escape the nightmarish realm. And last up, Gex Trilogy, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. The fast-talking gecko from the 1990s is back. Gex Trilogy reproduces all 3 original games in exacting detail, precisely the way you remember them, assuming that you've gone senile and remember them having high-definition native 16.9 widescreen visuals and fully analog controls, which they didn't. No, this is the Gex series the way it was meant to be played. The man didn't think you were ready back then. He kept this version locked away. Gex Trilogy is Gex the Next Generation. The Gex Gen version. Oh, God. The Gexiest version of all.
Ooh, the Gexiest.
Mm-hmm. So, taking a look at these 3, Blue, what are you in for?
So, Date Everything, I think, is AKA Rule 34, the video game.
Yep.
This actually, I kind of want to check out just out of morbid curiosity that you can date over 100 inanimate objects in your house that they've anthropomorphized into characters. Like the trailer has the character of the rubber ducky as like a person. I was laughing my ass off at the little ducky tail that this like kind of punk looking girl has. I thought it was hilarious. So I don't know how many hours I would really get out of this, because I think it's just you go around and just see, just out of curiosity, how many things in your house did they actually bother to make dateable? And once you've done that, maybe you're done with the game. I don't know. But I am still curious about how it's going to go. Lost in Random, I think, actually looks really good. Another one of those roguelike action games that I love. It's got almost kind of like an Alice in Wonderland vibe aesthetic to it, kind of gothy, a little bit of that appeal of a Hot Topic kid. So I'm here for it. Looks good. Gex Trilogy. I guess we're seeing a resurgent of like the B-list 90s mascots are getting a second time to shine, because we had, what was the alligator one?
Croc.
Yep.
Yeah, Croc came back. Now it's Gex. Are we getting Bubsy collection next? I don't know. I don't have any nostalgia for these games, so I'm probably not gonna run out and get them. They don't look great still, even remastered, but I could easily try Date Everything or Lost in Random.
Nice.
Okay.
Donaldo, what about you?
So Date Everything, as soon as I like saw the trailer for the gameplay for it, I'm like, really?
Come on.
I don't know, man. It would have to be something hilariously funny for me to pick it up, and because a dating sim, no. Unless there's like a myriad of dialogue that I can do, just get some hilarious responses or answers. Okay, I could see myself having some fun with that, but I'd have to find out a little bit more about Date Everything to consider picking this up. So I'm going to put that one on hold. Lost in Random, The Eternal Die, like Blue said, it looks pretty interesting. I'm not sure what to expect from the gameplay, what all it entails. I thought I saw some sort of card mini game or something like that in the trailer or whatnot. I don't know. That's not a new mechanic. We've known that since like think of any NES game that probably had a card mechanic. It does look interesting. Gex Trilogy, that series was okay. It was a platformer with another flavor of the week mascot that came out, and either you loved it or you didn't. But like Blue said, the remaster stuff, it doesn't look great. And I could fire it up on my Panasonic 3DO and play it just as easily, or my PS1, and have just as much as fun, aside from buying the remaster edition or the trilogy. So maybe pick that one up, maybe not. Not for full price, but I think the one I might go with this week would be Lost in Random.
It's not Gexy enough for you?
It's not, it doesn't have the Gexy factor.
See, Ducks in Disguise says, I'm in for Gex. Bring back Cool Spot next.
Oh.
I loved Cool Spot.
Or the Noid.
Oh, God, yes. We need a new Noid game.
The thing is, no one would know what the Noid is.
But I would. Wouldn't they do it for me?
That's perfect, though. Nobody knows what it is, so Domino's could bring it back into the fold and say, we're bringing the Noid back. And then you get kids like, what's the Noid? Oh, let's go get Domino's so we can get this Noid game, yada, yada, yada.
I didn't get the Noid even back in the day.
The Noid just is. You don't get him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was like metaphysical here, right?
And Games with Coffee says, come on, haven't you ever wondered what second base with your fridge would be like? Ooh.
As long as it's got the TV screen.
What about you, Ryan?
So I'm the same as you, Blue, and I think, Donnie, you kind of said this too, is I have no nostalgia for Gex whatsoever. Listen to the trailer, though. It sounded like it had some funny things. I think it was like, oh, I haven't heard blasts like that since taco night at James Earl Jones' house. That was funny. Like, I laughed at that. So, there's some humor to this. I just, like I said, I have no nostalgia for this. So there is no like real drive. And I don't like platformers of that variety, especially when they turned into 3D. Like, those were just my least favorite games. So Gex is probably not going to be the one for me. Where Lost in Random, I think, is it reminds me a lot of Diablo, just from the gameplay a little bit, as well as the atmosphere. So if it's anything like Diablo, I would be interested. The only thing I will say is if you recognize that there's a card game in it, Donnie, I might be out for that because I hate card games in games, especially when they're required. It's like, hey, let's make this whole part of the game that's important to you up to random chance. Here you go. Which is funny because lost in random. So yeah, maybe that is. But lastly, Date Everything. I think that this is a classic game that we can utilize when we come back in August.
Okay.
As a game that we can play.
So are you going to buy it?
I have no problem buying it. You know, I've got dating simulators on other way.
That's true. This is one we could actually show. And
you thought you had a hard time finding the fun button on a woman? Try to find on your stove. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I think Date Everything is what I'm actually going to buy this game for PC.
All right.
Please do. I can't wait to find the fun button together. All right, before we move on, let's take a quick break to talk about our sponsor. This segment is proudly sponsored by the Retro Game Club podcast. It's a fantastic, family-friendly retro gaming podcast. In each episode, Rob and a guest pick 2 games to play and discuss, as well as news, interviews, and other topics. This week, they want to know, what was the first video game you ever beat? Send your answers to email at retrogameclub.net or follow the link in the show notes.
Has to be Super Mario Brothers for me. That's the earliest game that I think I remember actually beating.
And that sucks too if like you started on the Atari because there was like no games that you could actually beat on the Atari.
Fair.
I did not, like back in the day, I didn't put a whole lot of emphasis on finishing games. I did a lot of emphasis on playing them and enjoying them, you know, but I don't think I finished many. I think the only one is probably Kung Fu. Was like that to me is one of those games where I just got it, you know? So, and it wasn't very long. So, I mean, granted though, if you quote unquote beat the game, it just keeps rolling. So
looping around.
I don't know if that's truly beating the game, but after that, like the next one up is probably like Super Punch Out, you know, to the 16-bit era that I really went after and tried to actually beat games.
I think my first one was probably Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
For a couple of reasons. One, it was designed as to be like a beginner's platformer. And I don't recall how old I was when it came out, maybe 8 or 9. So I was right at the right age for it. Loved that game. But also, because it was on the Game Boy, it did not apply to my parents' moratorium on half-hour TV time a day limit.
Smart.
Now I understand what your obsession is with handhelds. I get it.
now it's all clicking into place. So Foul Rank says Super Metroid. GoldenEye says first game for me would be on the C64. Webhead says DuckTales. Simon Astor says Super Mario Brothers 3. Doongie says Super Mario Land on Game Boy.
That's a hard game.
That is a hard game. Deceptively hard.
Yeah, I don't remember. Because the Atari 2600 is what I cut my teeth on, right?
Oh, yeah.
You had that, the Intellivision, you had arcade games, and nobody's beating an arcade game. I mean, let's call it what it is.
You got to get a death screen, right?
No, you didn't kill screen Pac-Man on the reg?
Nope, I did not. I was not that good. I'm still not that good. I can play Donkey Kong like nobody's business, but I've never beaten it, never beaten that loop or whatever, but didn't really even start thinking about completing games until the Nintendo came along and the success that boomed from that.
Wasn't even really a concept for the most part. I mean, yeah, there were Atari games that certainly had ends to them, you know, like Adventure and stuff. But most of the time it was just like the thing went and then it just kept going.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. After years of listening to the stream of consciousness babbling of these two, I've decided it's time to put their love of quoting things to the test. And therefore, tonight's trivia contest is called QuoteFest 2K25.
Yes.
And the prize, the winner of tonight's trivia will walk away with the title of Quote Daddy.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Donnie's rubbing his nipples already. I think
this.
rubbing your nipples is bringing you bad luck.
Keep rubbing them, Donnie.
Keep rubbing, assholes.
He literally makes a quote about culture. Yeah. Oh my God, how meta.
So tonight we have 4 categories, 4 questions under each category. Those doing the math at home, 16 total questions. The first category is called Stiller, Sandler, or Carey. Match the quote to the actor. You get a half point for a correct guess of the actor, plus a half point for the correct guess of the movie.
Okay.
Next category is called 90s hip hop. Match the lyric to the artist and the song. Half point for each, the artist and the song. Next up is big finishes, where you finish the quote. Ooh. Multiple choice. Don't worry, I'm not that cruel. And wrapping it all up is commercial break. Match the company to their 90s ad quotes.
Oh my God.
Donnie's stripping already. And then Donnie, since you've had such a bad run of luck, you're up first.
You see the celebration and everything right now. I'm probably going to fail.
That's what I'm
because-
expecting. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance ahead of
Yes.
time, and then he's going to self-destruct, and Ryan will win. That's my prediction.
Every category that you've mentioned is right up my alley. It should be in my wheelhouse.
So in other words, you have no excuses.
Absolutely. And if I lose this, then I will be the suck daddy.
Okay. What category would you like first?
Let's start off with Sandler, Carey, or the other guy.
Stiller.
There you go.
Okay. The first quote is, all you need is Mother Earth, Father Sky, and your dear old Uncle Tony. So you can get a half point for guessing correctly Stiller, Sandler, or Carey. Another half point for the movie.
It sounds like a Stiller quote.
That is correct.
Okay. Is it Heavyweights?
That is correct.
Oh, thank you.
Nicely done. Well done. Well done. Donnie with a full point for that one. Brian?
Let's go with commercials.
Okay, match the company to their 90s ad quotes. For you, not them. Is it A?
I'm actually already gonna say it's bubble tape.
Yep.
Okay, well done.
Yep.
For
Well
you,
done.
not them.
Tied 1-1, Donnie.
Let's go back and do the Sandler, Carey, or Stiller.
I'm going to stab your heads off with my dick.
Stab your heads off with my dick?
My dick.
You gonna take it? You gonna take this dick? I'm gonna stab your heads off with my dick. That movie, that quote is not coming to me. I'm gonna throw out a Sandler.
That is correct.
Okay. I'm gonna stab you. Okay, what's the quote again? I'm gonna stab you.
I'm going to stab your heads off with my dick.
Don't think this is. It doesn't sound like something from Billy Madison, and I know that movie. No, I'm going to go with Happy Gilmore, right? Even though it's not from that.
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Oh, I get a chance to steal.
Mm-hmm. What movie is it from?
Oh man, I wasn't even thinking they got a chance to steal, so now I wasn't even thinking.
Pressure now. Oh my God.
Right. Get in the flash. I just feel like there's like a little Nicky vibe to this.
I'm
But,
talking about an 8-piece. Let's go.
but he doesn't he doesn't say stuff like that.
No.
Oh. Is it Airheads? Is it Airheads?
It is Airheads.
Oh, nice.
I'm a wild man.
Yep. Nice.
And that puts us tied at 1.5 points each. Ryan, you're up.
Commercials again.
Okay. The juice is loose. Was it A, Sunny Delight, B, Gushers, C, Starburst, D, Fruit Stripe Gum?
I was originally thinking it was Juicy Fruit. It's not Sunny D. Because that's OJ Purple Stuff Sunny D.
Run. Juice.
Gonna go with Gushers.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Donnie?
So it was Fruit Stripe, Gushers, Sunny D, and
Starburst.
Starburst.
It is Starburst.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Donnie, you're up.
What were the other two categories?
We have 90s hip hop and big finishes.
90s hip hop. Hip Hop Anonymous?
If you just want to have him go through all of those, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, match the lyric to the artist and the song. I wish I was a little bit taller.
I wish I was a baller.
I was a baller.
I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. That is Skilo with I Wish.
Well done.
Hello?
Ryan?
Let's finish big.
Finish the quote from 1987's Lethal Weapon. What did one shepherd say to the other shepherd?
I've actually never seen this movie.
Okay. Is it A, I'm having a bad day? B, let's get the flock out of here? C, I'm on the lamb? Or D, no need to bleat around the bush?
I'm having a bad day.
That is incorrect. Donnie?
I don't remember this quote from Lethal Weapon. I'm going to say I'm on the lamb.
That is also incorrect.
Okay.
Sweet.
The correct answer is let's get the flock out of here.
I'd have to see the scene to really make the connection. So, sorry.
Unfortunately, we are not too old for this.
He was only 40 years old, whatever he said.
I know.
I know, but how do you feel when you're 40 years old?
Yeah, too old for this shit.
Yeah, too old for this shit. See, GoldenEye says it's after the Riggs torture scene. GoldenEye would get it.
Okay.
Donnie, you're up.
Hip hop.
Dressed in locks and khaki suits, and ride is what we do. Flossin', but have caution, we collide with other crews.
That is Tupac and Dr. Dre, California Love.
Well done. Ryan.
Sandler, Carey, or Stiller?
For if knowledge is power, then a god am I.
I want to say it's Jim Carrey, Bruce Almighty, but I don't know if that is correct. Yeah, we'll go with Carrey, Bruce Almighty.
You're half right. Was Jim Carrey. Donnie, do you know the movie?
Is it the cable guy?
Ooh.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Batman Forever.
Oh, he's a Riddler.
Oh,
Duh.
yeah, damn it.
Games of Coffee knows it. And Webhead got it as well. Carrey as the Riddler. Boys, the chat's outdoing you.
I don't like that movie. I can't stand the Joel Schumacher Batman film. So, yeah.
Okay. Currently, it's Donnie 4.5 to Ryan 2. And I think, Donnie, you're up.
Hip hop.
Well, I'm peeping and I'm creeping and I'm creeping. But I damn near got caught because my
people kept beeping. Now it's time for me to make my impression felt. So sit back, relax, and strap on your seatbelt.
Category is so I'm sorry.
I thought you'd do better at it, Ryan, honestly.
That is Dr. Dre, Let Me Ride.
No.
Oh, shh. It is Dr. Dre.
It is Dr. Dre.
Yep.
Do you guess, Ryan?
Ain't nothing but a G thing.
That is correct.
That's correct. Damn it.
Ryan? Games of Coffee. The overconfidence.
Yep. You're right. That's going to do me in.
Let's do commercials.
You either know what to do with it or you don't. Is it A, Summer's Eve, B, Push Pop, C, Walkman, or D, Aquanet?
You either know what to do with Summer's Eve or you do not.
Faring says Durex.
I just want to pick Summer's Eve because that's awesome. All right. We're going to go with Walkman.
Incorrect.
It's a very good guess. So it's either Summer's Eve, Aquanet, or what was the other one?
Push Pop.
Ring Pop, or the Push Pop. I'm going to go with Push Pop.
Push Pop is correct.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Because you know what to do with Aquanet. You just spray it right in the mouth.
Just don't do that with the summers.
Hold on. If it could it take care of bad breath as well?
Donnie, you're up.
Let's go with Sandler, Stiller, or Carey.
All right. This is the last question in Stiller, Sandler, or Carey. If you utter so much as a syllable, I'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish.
Foulrank says, I agree. What the is Aquanet? If you utter so much as a syllable, I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish. I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish. I'm trying to
Act
think
it out
of,
in each of their voices to see which one feels right.
I don't think it's a Sandler.
I will put you to sleep.
You will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep. Jesus. We've had two. I'm going to go with Stiller. I don't think it's not a Sandler. I'm trying to hard to place on the Carey thing. I'll just go with Stiller.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Ryan?
So my choices are Sandler or Carey.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Sandler.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Carey from what then?
Jim Carrey in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen that movie like twice.
That's 1.5 times more than me. Ryan.
Whatever. Pick one for me.
All right. For big finishes, finish the quote from 1998's Rush Hour. This is the LAPD. We're the most hated cops in all the free world. My own mama's ashamed of me. She tells everybody I'm A, a drug dealer, B, dead, C, a serial killer, or D, adopted.
Drug dealer.
That is correct.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Donnie?
Let's wrap up the hip hop. Is that the last question in that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now that I got me some Seagram's gin, everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in.
Now, this types of shit happens all the time. You got to get yours before I got to get mine.
I gotta get mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Snoop Dogg. Gin and juice.
He's playing it in
It
his
says
head.
it's
So he got
Seagram's,
you.
right?
Yeah, I know. I have to play the song.
Sitting on gin and juice.
Laid back. With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Ryan,
Big finish.
finish this quote from 1991's Point Break.
Oh,
22 years, man. LA has changed a lot during that time. A, the rent went up and the class went down. B, the blow got cheap and the hookers got ritzy. C, the air got dirty and the sex got clean. Or D, the days got darker but the nights are too damn bright.
We'll deal with the one with the hookers.
Not correct.
C, the air got dirty and the sex got clean.
Correct.
I've seen Point Break once.
Oh my God. I love that movie.
Awful.
I know it is not. You shut your damn mouth. That is not an awful movie.
It is so unbelievable. I'm sorry.
It is not.
I will say it's better than Lost Boys.
You can go fuck yourself with that one. So if somebody bought you Point Break on Laserdisc, like you wouldn't.
I'd play the shit out of it.
Okay.
I can't believe that. How was I to know that this was geared so much towards Donnie? Because I've seen the kind of movies that you've been buying. So
If you would have picked Bloodsport over the top, I would have had him.
So the current score is 3.5 Ryan to 8 Donnie. 2 questions left. I'm afraid that Donnie is going to be the quote daddy. He finally has a victory, folks. He finally has a victory.
I will reclaim my Trivia Daddy title.
We'll see about that.
I will.
But anyways, 2 more questions left. Let's go ahead and finish it officially. Donnie, do you want big finishes or do you want commercial break?
You know what? Give me the big finish.
Okay, finish this quote from 1990s Kindergarten Cop. You can't just walk in here and put a gun to my face. I'm trying to A, get my nails done, B, get a pedicure, C, have some girl time, or D, get a manicure.
Get a manicure, because I believe it's a scene when he, I can't remember the bad dude's name, but he goes in and he's getting ready to bust him. Yeah, Crisp. Yeah. He's getting a manicure with his mom, so I think it's getting a manicure.
That is correct. Foul Rank says broken clocks are right twice a day. LOL. All right, last question. Ryan, you get first shot at it. Commercial break. Stop drooling on me. Is it A?
Talk boy.
Yes, it's a talk boy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look at that. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hi, kids. We're home early.
That concludes Quote Fest Trivia 2K25. Congratulations, Donnie.
Congratulations, Donnie.
Thank you.
The quote daddy.
Is there a downloadable pack that we can get for the next trivia thing?
Perhaps, but if you didn't buy the Super Deluxe Collector's Edition, then you're going to pay extra.
It doesn't include the questions.
Right. The DLC pack does not include the questions.
I would also like to point out that D says that I might also be the 90s hip hop daddy. And I would love to have that. Like, I think it's appropriate. You guys don't do 90s hip hop. I'm the only one that does.
I really, really thought Ryan would.
I mean, I do some 90s hip hop. I'm just not as much of a connoisseur.
And see,
as the
I like that.
as I was making these questions, I had no idea how to gauge how easy or difficult they would be. So I tried to do a wide variety, and I picked like the most like iconic, everybody knows hip hop songs that are out there, just in case.
Even the obscure ones I would have gotten. More than likely.
That's it. Yeah.
I'll test that next time.
Okay, all right.
The Donnie only category.
Ooh, Donnie only. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up this episode as your, I can't say trivia daddy, but as your quote daddy. We'll go ahead and close this out.
Hybrid says that's because the rest of us have taste, Donnie.
Hey. Thank you for listening to episode 170 of Gamers Week Podcast, and a big thank you to the Retro Game Club Podcast, Love Retro BTW, Pixel Pond Production Company, and absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress, for sponsoring this episode. Don't forget to check out their links in the show notes. If you want to connect with Gamers Week, follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Gamers Week PC. Watch us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamers Week Podcast, where we will record. Oh, hi, Mike.
Quick key.
Where we will record live every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Email us at gamersweekpodcast@gmail.com. Visit our merch store at gamers-week-podcast.creator-spring.com. Or if you want to do it the easy way, follow the link in the show notes. And last but not least, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/gamersweek. And finally, since you made it all the way to the end of this episode, please leave us a rating and a review to let us know how we did. We really do value your feedback. And while you're there, consider subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. We didn't list our AOL username in here.
I can still log into AIM. I know what my password was.
Can you really?
Yeah. I mean, I assume, I don't know if it's still a thing, but
no, they
like
took
I know my password.
They
took that platform away. Yeah, what's your password?
Yeah, and I'll give you my social as well. That's a great idea right here up on Twitch.
Your password probably was your social, right?
Nope. It was the girl I was dating at the time.
Oh.
I was a romantic. What do you want from me?
I don't know. I just did a quick search for AIM login screen and it popped right up.
What?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Totally log back in. Spend all night messaging on AM. Coming up with really good away messages and like in your profile, right? Using like ASCII text to, I
guess the question is there's anybody left on here to message?
I say we start a movement.
There we go. Create an account.
AOL sign in. Oh my God. Please let this be a thing.
Gamers Week Podcast.
We're doing it. We're really doing it, aren't we, Harry?
Oh, you have to have an AOL.com email address or Gmail won't work?
Fine. Create an AOL Gamers Week Podcast AOL account.
This is more steps than I expected. I'm so disappointed.
She's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Problem is, in order to get an AOL account, though, you need to prove that you have a landline.
Well, I know I live in a small town, but sorry.
We just got internet last week.
Sounds like a dead cat. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We are very appreciative of you spending your Wednesday evenings with us. We will be back next week. However, I will not be here. I will be out of the country. Oh, damn you, Ryan. Wow. I will be out of the country for work.
Quote Daddy is going on his victory tour.
Yeah, I'm taking it to Europe, baby. I'm taking it to Europe. I'm going to scream it from the mountaintops. Now,
Oink, oink, we'll be pigs.
Oink, oink, we're pigs. I need to check if I have any stickers left, because if I do, I'm taking them with me, slapping them on some historical buildings. Yes.
Poland will love it.
I'm sure they will.
They got that statue of Lenin.
Right on his ass.
I listen to Gamers Week podcast, comrades. But yeah, I will not be here. But Ryan and Blue will have a guest standing in my stead, and it will be a great episode. I guarantee it. So join them back next week, and I will see you guys back in 2 weeks. And you guys have yourself a great night. Thank you again for hanging with us. And guys, you want to say goodnight?
Good night, guys.
See you guys. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye. How are we doing this evening? Are we doing good?
We're not drunk as
Hall.
Cole? I could be, but I stopped myself. We all know how it went the last time Donnie had a work dinner.
Oh, we remember.
And had some drinks.
We remember.
I wasn't there, so I feel cheated. I feel like this needs to happen again. Just saying.
You want to give me a few minutes? I can go downstairs and come back up.
Yeah, go. Right now?
I didn't hear no bell.
Wait.
I didn't hear no bell.
Because I have to edit on the other side of it. So,
You said you had the day off tomorrow.
let's do it for an uncut. Let's do it for an uncut when nobody has to edit.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut, Patrons with Benefits. This is the unscripted, patron-only bonus cast with less editing and more dirty jokes. We don't know where the conversation will go, but we're sure it will be weird.
This fish just went right on my nipple, and I'm just like,
I Google Street Fighter 6. The first search result that comes up is people think they can see Ryu's in the Street Fighter 6 reveal.
Listen up here, kids. You're not going to want to get one of those VD-STDs things, right? Make it fall off. When you go, grab a pro. You'll be doing it for America.
that was perfect.
If you want to hear weekly episodes of our patron-only bonus cast, join us at patreon.com/gamersweek.